Hey gang, DJ here from PTA. Going over a few of the stocks that made some major moves today. We had a couple things moving today that kind of show that the market may be coming back. I know we've been had a pretty slow month here in the month of February. Coming into March, we tend to seem as though we're kind of bringing things back into full swing. So it's good stuff, good things to see. Want to go over a few stocks that I played, as well as some things we talked about in chat in the Discord. Again, guys, look in the link, click on the Discord, part of the community. For all our non-members right now, we have a special invitation for people who want to come in, take a look at our channel, and see how things are going. So first trade, Ctva was the first trade that we played. Definitely had a leg up. I was looking at it above the monthly high of 52.36. It sparked my interest. Again, top-down analysis. When we look at this, I see that it was making higher lows. Has been in the uptrend. Wanted to kind of see what it was going to do today. It popped up on the scanner due to the volume. Had a little bit of abnormal volume coming in. So I like to, again, guys, break down into the 1 hour. Had a nice little clean break off of the 53 area. I actually got a fill in at 52.70. And let me kind of break that trade down to you. It was pretty much right there. So what happened is that we had a nice little push, some volume stepped in right around here. When you can break this down into the 1 minute, it kind of looks a little bit more clear. So when I seen this up and over move, and I seen the pressure, I jumped in right around 52.70, and then I just rode the wave. When I rode that wave, it took me out somewhere around here, which was 53.57. So didn't get the full buck, but it was an easy trade. Didn't really get any pullback or anything like that. So it was an easy 70, 80 cent trade, no hassle, literally about a 13 cent, 15 cent risk. So it was a beautiful trade inside and out. Now, the big one that everybody was talking about today would be uh, the big dog, the one that everyone was playing was INDO. Again, top-down analysis, we've seen it have been in an uptrend. This is something I went over with you guys over the last two videos in reference to this stock. But today we got a lot of pullback, so I wouldn't be surprised if the trend is ending now. We might even have a situation that it might gap up and continue on, but not really sure. I'm saying that simply because the volume has kind of dried up from the previous day. It was only at about 35% of its previous volume. So that lets me know that there's probably no more buying pressure into that stock. But let's break it down a little bit more. Going into the hour, there were some key areas that were talked about in both the community. Just to recap those, one of the areas was at let's see, INDO area was 6201 was a critical area that was kind of yelled out. So let's draw a line at 6201. And what I like to do is I always tell people is I like to let the stock kind of form and do what it's going to do. 6201 was that critical area, but when we zoom it down into a 5 minute, it kind of look a little bit more cleaner. So what I like to do again, I like to see a nice stretch up. So it created this low, created this high for the day. It pulled back, and because I was waiting for volume to really creep in, it really didn't creep in till about here, right around that pre-market area. I got a feel. I was looking for a 6201 break, but I got filled in at let's zoom down in the 1 minute. I can tell you exactly the price point where I got in at. It was right here, off of this candle, right into about 10:54 Eastern Standard. That was a 58.51. So I got filled in at 58.60 was my order. And as I was telling people in the chat that you know, you gotta watch your price action. So when this stock ripped, and I mean it literally ripped into this halt, which I was kind of like, hey, that makes sense. It was a pretty radical move. I mean, you coming from literally 58 up into 65. I mean, it's almost $10 a share. So I allow it to rip. I had my stop loss back here. I had about a $2 stop loss, so stop loss was right there. Um, Ultimately, it just whipsawed down there. It didn't really hold. So I like the stock. If I'm going to get out, it has to hold that area. Now a lot of times stocks will whipsaw, or whip down there and come back up. I just allow it to play out. So when it whipped down there, reclaim my price, and then continue to rally on, and then it hold, retest, and then hold 6201. That's when I was pretty confident in letting it go. So I allowed it to kind of rip. Took a little bit of shares off here, and then it kind of just rallied. I took the rest off about right here, which was at 7701. So I didn't get the full meat of the move. I just was looking to try to get as much as I could. But once I seen this rebound, this kind of shook everybody out of the halt. I just held because I knew where my stop was. I was comfortable with the area. Had already assumed the risk, so I wasn't really trying to jump out before then. I really wanted to see if this had another leg, and it did. So it kind of rallied on from here. So I got out about 77, I think 70. I want to say I got about 77.20s areas where I started loading out from the 58. So just an excellent move on INDO. And this has been my favorite this week. We did pretty well on it the other day, and then I did pretty well on it today. Um, the next move, I yelled it out in the chat, but unfortunately, um, I wasn't at the desk. I ended up leaving to go take care of something, and then I came back to only see that it had rallied. So that stock, the second one, which was HUSA, see that it was been in an uptrend today. It has some very abnormal volume from week to week, so that's why I end up popping up on our list. Again, top-down analysis. The biggest thing is I want to kind of show you guys was, let's go down to this 1 hour. When the stock went up this morning, I like this pullback. So I was looking forward to rally and continue on, but when it didn't, I knew then that I had to kind of zoom in into the lower time frames to kind of see what was the price action. When it made its first push out of here, you remember I told you guys I like to see the A and then pull back. I looked at this particular area at 540. 540 was looking really good to me on the level two. And right here at about 12:30, so sometime after that time frame, unfortunately, I just wasn't at the desk, so I couldn't take advantage of it. But eventually, as you can see, it took off, and I mean, it rallied. This is one of those ones where you missed out. You just missed out. So one of those deals where it's just I threw it out there in the chat to tell people that, hey, look at this area. This is a very critical area. Here go the chat post that actually shows that right here where I was in at 524, had a bad feel. I ended up breaking even on this stock here simply because I had to go do something. So I didn't want to leave any open trades. I didn't have time to monitor it or anything. But right there, and then I was looking for that 540 push. So I ended up breaking even on the stock, but unfortunately, it actually got away from me. So unfortunately, I just missed out on an excellent trade. A few of our chat members stated in there that, hey, we took advantage of that trade. Thanks for the shout out. So it got in at about 540, and I mean, it literally rallied. And this stock, I mean, it rallied, went all the way up to $13. So this was just a great play all the way around. So congrats to all those who made money off of that play there. The last play I want to kind of go over was IMPP. This had been on the list. I missed it every day. So top-down analysis going back to the daily, you see that it was up. Kind of the same type of play. Let's go back to that IMPP. Here we go. IMPP, it was up. Nice little play. It was up from the day before. Has massive volume, so this probably will be on watch tomorrow because it still exceeded the volume as well. This is one of those things where like I just missed out. Seen other plays that I felt was greater. So right here, we break down in 1 hour. Had a nice little pullback off that 1 hour into the rally, and like I told you guys, I like to see it go up and then pull back. So when we look at this from this time frame here on the 5 minute, you really just have to be paying attention to this stock. To me, wasn't the cleanest play, but it definitely could have got in somewhere around here. A few people in Discord yelled out this price here right above 6. Did a nice move up to 8. It pulled back, and then it kind of just went sideways and bounced. These particular plays like that, not my favorite, but if you get an opportunity and it looks good, you got to take it. So that big drawback right here just made me not even want to look at the stock entirely because I just didn't think it had the range. So again, guys, you definitely want to stick to any of your A plus setups. Any setup that you feel you're comfortable with is the trades you take. So, a lot of people look at all the noise and they look at what everybody else is doing. But honestly, no one was looking at this stock, and it was a nice move right here on CTVA. Very simple trade. I got in, got out, made money on that. I made money on INDO just because, hey, this is one of those stocks that was still in play and everybody was taking a look at it. As far as HUSA, that was probably a really good play that I missed out on, but you can't catch them all. So I did have a pretty profitable day. If you have any questions, concerns, leave that information in the comment section. We try to reach out to everyone to help out in the community. And as I always tell all the traders that's in the community and out there, stay studying and stay focused.